No, but, so this character was amazing and unique. And I needed somebody, I needed my King Kong to come in to give his unrequited love. And Jaideep came in. And then, of course, Kareena was there to take the character to another level. Then Vijay took on the mantle of 3 characters and made them into one. And yeah, actually, they are the one who made it so easy, I just wrote
That was going to be my next question to you as a director. How does your job get really easy when you have, maestros of the craft
Amazingly
sitting with
easy.
you? I mean, you
मैंने
can
कुछ किया ही नहीं.
evolve the story into what you like because you've got guys who's going to do it for you.
Yeah, amazingly. With these 3, it was just a cakewalk. I just gave them the character. I probably wrote the character at 2. They took it to 200. And they made the character. They took responsibility, the accountability. सब कुछ लिया इन्होंने. सब कुछ किया. I just wrote it and ये ले भाई character ले. But thanks to all these 3, the film is what is you see. The film belongs to them, to Obik and to Urvashi, and they are the one who made the film. Wow. My editor, my cinematographer, and these 3 amazing, amazing people. Yeah.
Okay, lots of questions to ask, but Jayu and Akshay, I'm going to get the next one to you. How did Jaane Jaan happen? How did you put it together? This is quite a stellar coming together, and as a producer, you've managed to pick the best and put it together and make a wonderful film out of it. So how was it, how did it come about for you guys?
All Sujoy. Sujoy was very clear from day one of how he wants to make the film. I think he's been living with the film for quite some time. So I think it is in his blood, the film. So he was very clear of where he wants to shoot it, how he wants to shoot it, who should be in the film. So in fact, he made it easier. We just had to make sure his vision gets, he gets everything to make the film.
Amazing. Akshay, what about you? How did the whole partnership come together?
So Sujoy and I had made a film before this together.
Right, of course. So it was a natural.
And then we were discussing what to do next for the longest time. And then when this came up, Jayu and I decided to put this together for us.
Lucky for the film then.
Yeah.
Okay, Monica, what is it about murder mysteries and thrillers that people love so much? Like, what is it about it, and why are audiences all across the world, gravitating so much to this genre, this space? I mean, I thought, it would be nice to shed some light on it and why we are so attracted when we're sitting to watch something saying, okay, let's watch this. This title looks great. It's a thriller, mystery.
Actually, you're right, Minnie. It's one genre that is consumed so much. Like, and from a global Netflix perspective, this is one genre where film, series, anything which really taps into, human curiosity and mystery that you have to unravel. Streaming is all about, of course there's lean forward, like there's lean back viewing, but crime and mystery and thrillers are very lean forward viewing. And as human beings, we love that intensity, wanting to know what happened. So I think Jaane Jaan was just such a beautiful and heady mix, I would say, of romance and crime and amazing characters that, the 3 of them have brought to the screen. Each of them, I can't think of, anyone else playing Maya D'Souza. Like Kareena as Maya and Maya as Kareena. And, Naru and Vijay's character as the cop who looks very sweet, but we don't know. I mean, who knows who's good, who's bad. Everybody has shades of grey, and when they come together, there's a heady cocktail that happens, and that's the story that Sujoy has woven, and that's the story that I think Jayu and Akshay, and by the way, I want to just call out that this is our first time partnering with Jayu and Akshay, and it has been such a wonderful partnership, such a giving partnership that we've had. It's been truly collaborative, and I really hope you'll work with Netflix again, both of you. Ooh. And Sujoy, of course, and all of you. I mean, we are not letting you guys go anywhere, just like Vijay's been doing. I think all of you, we are going to ensure that we tie you guys down to Netflix. We're so happy about the way Jaane Jaan. Sorry?
I can tie them up.
Yeah, he's
Oh
your
yeah,
agent, he's special.
Of course. I mean, last
Ghar ka
time,
aadmi.
yeah, he got tied up last time in the chair on
As a revenge.
Yeah, as a revenge, he can tie everybody else up. So I think Jaane Jaan has really come together in such a smoldering and such a brilliant way that I think it just dishes the core of the genre. जो सबको crime और mystery thrillers में जो भी appeal करता है, that's like absolute center of plate. So, you know, it just keeps you hooked there. So I'm very excited.
Amazing. So picking up from what Monica just said about Kareena, about her, you know, playing Maya D'Souza, I thought like you looked so comfortable playing, you know, Maya D'Souza, which is also very unlike what we've seen, you know, Kareena doing in films. It was almost like you were in the skin of the character. You looked the part. You felt comfortable. I wanted to know what exactly was, apart from the fact that Sujoy was directing it and he was excited about the story, as an actor, what was it about her character that really appealed to you to play it?
I personally enjoy watching thriller, crime,
Okay.
you know, mystery. That's generally my go-to, even when like I'm watching Netflix or, you know, whatever. I'm steered towards that. So, you know, when I read this story, I was like, I think it's just amazing because it's like out of a personal choice. I think जब आप, you know, खुद ऐसी films देखते हो या ऐसी shows देखते हो, you are more wanting to kind of, you know, do that. So what better to be, you know, debuting on Netflix than with a thriller? So it was like a kind of a instant kind of a, you know, feeling.
So you didn't have second thoughts about it. You were going to do it the moment you read it.
Yeah, for sure. And also, of course, you know, I've loved Sujoy's work and we've always wanted to work together. Like I said, for over a decade, we've been back and forth. And
So this was...
finally I worked with you, Sujoy.
I mean, she rejected, what, about 100 scripts?
Is that right? So you got the right one.
Yeah.
Well, all's well that
Finally.
ends well, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Jaideep, आपके लिए film बहुत ही, you know, it's been very unusual. And like we were talking about a little earlier, your look in this is very authentic, okay? And I believe that आपको 2 घंटे का prosthetic Sujoy ने करवाया. And I just want to know, you know, एक actor की शिद्दत होती है for sitting 2 hours before shoot every single day to put on that makeup. How difficult is it
And
to
it's
do something like this?
Look at his
It's
glorious
one thing to
crowning
do-
glory.
For once?
मतलब उसको रोज छुपाना.
It's one thing to do lot of makeup to look pretty.
Yeah, it's a lot of
And
makeup to
another
look
thing,
unpretty.
another thing to sit in front of the mirror for 2 hours and look like that.
Basically, he said that he's looking ugly in the movie.
No, but it is very unusual. So,
That basically that you're looking ugly in the movie. He's saying that too.
I didn't say that. I love Jaideep.
Yeah, we all love
so what is the story behind this look? I'm going to put this question to Jaideep and Sujoy. You know, it's a very unique look. You've taken a man with a full head of hair and given him like a stressed out look. So, what was it behind the look of this character? I was very intrigued when I saw it, honestly.
It was in the book.
It was already sketched out.
In the book.
The look.
In the book, yeah.
And you followed it to the T.
Yeah. And he agreed. He agreed.
I would have done
He
it.
didn't even blink an eyelid.
दादा told me it's a love story. The beauty was वाला beast वाला मामला है. मैंने कैसे बनाओगे? मैंने like मेरे पास एक look है. And I know he was very scared कि ये बताऊंगा और ये मना करने वाला है. But it
बाद में
was
बताया.
amazing. Just looking those pictures, मैंने कहा ये करने में मजा आएगा. And then there is a beauty. ये possible नहीं कि उसके प्यार में ना पड़ा जाए.
Of course.
तो वो बहुत आसान पार्ट था. 20 इन्होंने बना दिया था.
That's amazing. Vijay, you know, or to you, every time I see your name in the cast of a film, I'm waiting to be surprised. I'm like, I don't know which version of Vijay Verma we're going to see. So what are the surprises that the audience can expect? I'm not asking you to give the suspense away, but what is it that we can look forward to Vijay Verma doing in Jaane in this?
I think it's really a completely new take on what I've done in the past. I've completely stayed away from what I had created before. It's a very new version of me,
Okay.
and on screen, and
Actually, you've seen the trailer, so there are glimpses of some action shoot. There's glimpses of certain kind of, a presence which I didn't have before. So that is new, and I also feel like the dynamics between the three of us is something that people have never seen before. So that's very new and fresh. I have a very long and loving relationship and friendship with Jaideep. We go back a long way.
FTI days?
Yeah, we went to the same class at the film school.
You were on the same batch?
Yeah. So so as soon as I knew Jaideep is in the film and there's Kareena in it, I was like, I'm sold. I'll get to hang out with my friend, my old pal, and I get to hang out with this incredible gentleman, Sujoy Ghosh, who's very thoroughly entertaining. I call him Bengali British.
Perfect.
And we got to work with the goddess herself.
Who's going to say no to that? But just a little bit more about the fact that these two are classmates from FTII. Do you guys prep together? Is there a sense of rivalry, competition, especially that we have the treat, we have a unique situation कि आप दोनों को एक ही फिल्म में हम देख रहे हैं. Did you prep together for this film?
जैसे मुझे भी पता चला था कि विजय वो कर रहा है, मेरे लिए बहुत आसान हो गया था क्योंकि मुझे अब उस पार्ट को तैयार करने की, उस रिलेशनशिप को तैयार करने की जरूरत नहीं है, जेन्युइनली जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज इट्स बीन लाइक 15-17 years वी नो ईच अदर. क्लास में रोज एक दूसरे से काम करके साथ में काम किया है, फिल्में देखी हैं, टीचर्स की गालियाँ खाई हैं, तो वो सब हम उस प्रोसेस से साथ में निकले हैं. सो द मोमेंट यू नो कि आपका कोई एक्टर ये है जिसको आप कुछ भी बोलोगे, कुछ भी बात करोगे, किसी तरह से भी डिज़ाइन करोगे, इट्स लाइक इम्प्रोवाइजेशन का एक रूल होता है, यू कांट से नो टू इट बेसिकली. तो उस पार्ट को बिल्कुल भी तैयार करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. द मोमेंट आई सी विजय, आई नो कि हाँ ये हो जाएगा.
So basically you guys are going to be the new age Jay and Veeru. Any director who casts you has half the work done.
जय और विजय तो है ही नाम में.
हाँ, वीरू करने की जरूरत नहीं, जय विजय भी हो सकता है.
Perfect. There you have it. Perfect. So Joy, I'm going to ask you a question I've been dying to ask you. Okay, we know that where you shoot the film becomes a really important character in all the films that you do. We saw what you did with Calcutta when you did Kahani. And now you've shot it in beautiful Kalimpong. The film has, an amazing moody setting. So what was it about Kalimpong that helped you, take the story forward? It's very important to know that. Why did you choose that?
See, when you read the book, it's kind of set in a small hamlet of Tokyo. So I needed that. I needed a small place which is very academic, where there's this man teaching maths to a high school, and where a mother is trying to, restart her life. So it all fell into place in Kalimpong, where you could create a world like that, and in comes another man looking for another man. So too many men, one woman. And Kalimpong gives me that mystery, that little hilly, the fog. And I think that's very important to have in the kind of thriller that we are trying to set in Jaane Jaan. And I knew that terrain. I know that terrain very well. It's hometown. So it also...
So you loved it. And you shot the entire film in...
Yeah.
From start to finish in one location.
Yes.
That brings me to another question. Akshay, maybe I should ask you the question. Sometimes you just know when a film is, sprinkled with fairy dust. You know that magic is happening on the set and everything is going to be aligned just so, and it's going to be a wonderful film. At what point, I'm going to be a little forward and say, at what point did you know that you had magic happening on the sets? I know for a fact because it's a wonderful film.
I think on day one only when we started, and the thing with Sujoy is that once the film starts, there's no worry left for the producer. It's all his problem then. He takes it forward completely.
Okay.
So on day one, I think we knew that this is going to go the way it is planned. And Sujoy knows Kalimpong. We were going for the recce to Kalimpong actually, and he had said we'll go for 7 days. And the recce got over in like 6 hours. Because everything was planned in his head. I'm going to shoot this here, I'm going to shoot this there, I'm going to shoot here.
Amazing.
And it was all planned actually before the recce.
Okay, so dream team vibes.
Yeah, completely.
Okay. Okay. Kareena, I want to ask you a question which I'm sure everyone's going to jump and ask you. Okay, you are the queen of spontaneity. Okay, everyone's seen you. You bring your first foot forward is that of being a spontaneous actor. Whereas you're working now with these two actors who are, FTII. They know each other. They work. All of that. How did the chemistry, how did it work out between you? Who intimidated who is what I want to know.
They intimidated me because they were so prepared that I was like, and anyway, I had gone with the thought. Saif had already told me, he's like, listen, this is not कि तुम band से makeup लगा के set पे जाके dialogue बोलोगे. He's like, please stop this attitude because you are working with Jaideep Ahlawat and Vijay Verma. Be prepared. They are going to be improvising and doing everything. And I was like,
No stress, no
So he
pressure.
was like, you better be on your toes because, ये नहीं है कि it's like a picnic. So he had warned me. So I was like, anyway, I have to be a little more like, जैसे कि student when you go to the class, you have to constantly like be alert. He's like, stop being that backbencher and now आगे थोड़ा कुछ करो. I said, yeah, I have to. So I was like constantly watching them that it was, because I know that like Jaideep is always so like prepared and, composed. Obviously that was his character. Vijay, I've realized, is a bit like me in the sense he's laughing and everything on the set and whatever, but his every take is different from the other. But it's also very thought of. I can tell that he's like thought of everything the way he's going to say it, what's going to happen. So I think just being in that environment, I was also on my toes and I'm so happy that I was because I think an actor should constantly be threatened by other actors on set.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's just going to be, So it's nice to have that slight alertness around, like, okay, whatever, what's happening, I should also be prepared. Is he going to, like, give me a look? Is he going to be, what's going to happen slightly different? So I think the whole process was, but we all three were really prepared, I think. मेरे बारे में भी कुछ अच्छा बोलो सब आपके बारे में अच्छा बोल रहे हैं हाँ
It was lovely interpreting.
FTI and all तो then I am like मेरे बारे में भी बोलो यार
वो FTI है ना फिल्म इंडस्ट्री की वो
आप
है
कितनी तैयारी करके आ जाओ सेट पे जब आप करीना कपूर के सामने खड़े होते हो जब आपको उनकी आंखों में देख के लाइन बोलनी पड़ती है ना तो कैमरा भी हिलता है आके तो आदमी छोड़ दो आप तो बड़े-बड़े लोगों को हिलते देखा है मैंने
so I'm just very happy that I was with them
I want to thank Saif Ali Khan
yeah,
because अगर वो नहीं होते तो इनको पता भी नहीं होता ये कौन है ये लड़के हैं
थैंक्स
watching everything
I can imagine this conversation in a room.
So I was like terrified. I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Okay, there are many questions that are going to come to you from, everyone present here. But before I leave the room open for everyone's questions, Monica, one final question to you. Don't look so surprised. I just want to know it's something everyone wants to know. What is it about a script that pulls you in and makes you want to green light it? How do you put your finger on it and say, okay, this is the one we want to go with?
I think it's the easiest and the most difficult question that can be asked because really when an idea comes, a pitch comes, when producers bring it or creators bring it or a talent wants to, star in a story, I think we have to think of that story by itself and we have to think of what we can do with it on Netflix. Like, how can Netflix serve that story and take it to everyone across the world at the same time in so many different countries and cultures? What is that absolute, appeal of that story to your own audience in that country? And then, beyond that, what is the universality of that story? What are the emotions it taps into? So I think selecting stories is a function of, like I said, the story itself, what we can bring to it as Netflix as the strongest global sort of distribution platform, the creative streaming platform, and what can it really do for the audiences here and everywhere else. So I think all of that is playing across in our minds as a team, We see the vision of the creator, like what is Sujoy thinking, what do Jay and Akshay want to do, what kind of story do they want to tell, and then who's the talent that should be upfronting the story. So I think it's always a very amazing mix of everything, and like you rightly said, you know, you tell many, many stories, and then there are some where you just know. You know when you know that that magic has happened, that something that you were trying to put together, like it's got its own energy and it's moving in a direction. So I think that feeling is very special. And I think Jaane Jaan is that feeling.
Has it.
It is that emotion. So, I mean, that's the process of selection.
Amazing. I'm going to stop jabbering and I'm going to open the floor now to everyone who wants to ask questions. If you could only raise your hands and we'll be happy to ask you. The mic will come to you and we'll be happy to take questions. Yes, can we have the mic?
So, hi Kareena, hi everybody, hi Vijay, hi Jaideep, hi Shujaida, hi Monica. I loved the trailer. First of all, I am a murder mystery freak, so I really want to watch it. I'm a thriller freak. Actually, when you introduced Kareena as a game changer, I would like to tell a few things. As a person who's always watched you, like grown up watching your films, the industry has gone through massive paradigm shifts in the last 20 years that you've been in the business. And you've witnessed and you've actually stayed relevant with all the changing times. How do you manage to do that? And with a film like Jaane Jaan, which is your Netflix debut, which is your OTT debut, it's also in a very different space from what people could have perceived you in. They would have wanted you like a heroine and you're here in a very de-glam avatar. How do you manage to stay relevant? Is there a process to that madness?
What a wonderful question.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jao.
Nayan, very different question from you. And at least you're not asking me to do dance on Jaane Jaan.
I know, what a nice
For your
question.
reel. Huh? I think he wants, I know Nayan wants that. Huh, Nayan? I know you better. Acha, later. Okay, pakka. But I think that it's nothing, there's no thought behind anything. I think as an actor, everyone wants to try and do something different at every stage in their life. Of course, with me, it's always been very difficult because I've always been like known for that, you know, whether it's poo or geet or like I said even in the announcement thing, कि वो एक दिमाग में बैठ गया है. So that has been a conscious effort that at least now I want to do different things. Even though I have always tried, but people still always push those roles ahead. They don't give the films that I have done before and chosen the characters, whether it was Dev, Yuva, Chameli, Omkara, whatever, I've always tried to, but they still go back to that. But hopefully now, I mean, I'm going to keep trying to do it, and I know they will keep coming back to Poo and Geet.
Wow, nice question.
Hello?
Yes, the lady over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So my name is Manjari. I'm from Pop Diaries. And firstly, congratulations to the whole team of Jaane Jaan. Absolutely a very, very fantastic trailer. I loved it. And I'm sure the audience will too. My first question is to Monica. After Chor Nikal Ke Bhaga, Rana Naidu, Kora, and now Jaane Jaan, what's next for Netflix? Because you've been giving us hits and hits and hits.
Next is Jaane Jaan, which
After that.
yes.